instead of me trying to get under the same roof as big executives in Hollywood, one night they'd come out to be under one roof with me.
What's up, everybody? My name is Richard Ike. Welcome to my question show. That's where I ask questions to the person on my show. Today we have Erman Baradi. He is Hollywood's top networker. He's the founder of the production company Ermantourage, and they specialize in entertainment industry events, film and TV production. He's also the co-founder of the filmmaking mentorship contest, The Film Empire. He's a screenwriter rep by Emagine Content and is frequently connecting his business ventures with charity and artist support. Ermantourage is hosting Hollywood Chills 13, a virtual benefit for inner city arts in LA on January 30th. And that's going to feature all-day Zoom conferences with a really impressive list of entertainment professionals. Erman, my man, welcome. I'm happy to have you here. Thanks for being on my question show.
Thank you, sir. And two things first off, I just want to say, I've known you for 3 years and I finally realized how to pronounce your last name. So that's a plus.
Am I saying yours right?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And secondly, I love the name of the show. It's so on the nose that it's so funny.
So yeah, with that, my question show. May I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me a little bit about where you're from and how you came into your life in the arts?
Yeah, so I'm from Virginia Beach, Virginia, which is literally across. If you took a map from LA to Virginia Beach, it's like straight. I think it's like straightforward, like straight across the US.
Same
so
line.
So I was born and raised across the country from where the heart of the industry is. When I was in elementary school, I always thought to myself, I'm going to be a doctor one day. Like, I'm going to be in medicine like most Asian Americans are. So I was kind of looking forward to that kind of life, right? Mm-hmm. But I was always a writer. Like, I always found myself doodling, just jotting down things, Right. And so in elementary school, as the top of my class, I was one of the smart kids. In middle school, I went to magnet school, a school here called Kemp's Landing Magnet School.
Okay, cool.
And this is where all the smart kids from the different districts gathered, right? Yep. And imagine going from top of the class to bottom. Like, I was bottom tier.
Right.
I was like, in comparison to other kids, I wasn't as academic. And so I think that's where I found out in sixth grade is where I found out I was more of a creative person than an academic kind of person, right? It was the beginning of sixth grade. I was like, what do I want to do? What electives do I want to take? And back in my mind, I'm like, I want to take theater. Because I was shy at the time. So I was like, let me take theater. Let me break out of my shell. Plus, I just love telling stories in some fashion, right? But then I was like, there's not many Asians on TV. So I was like, what's the point? Why even pursue theater? And mind you, this is early 2000s. I was 2001 specifically. And so I took orchestra instead, like most Asians did. Taking orchestra, as okay as it was, I was still last chair because it just wasn't a passion of mine. So I kind of missed out on theater in middle school. But with that being said, my English teachers were like, you're a really good writer. You should pursue this. Middle school ended, went to high school. Each year, same thing. 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade. My English teachers were like, you're really good at storytelling. And they said, you may not be the best grammatically, or you may not know the format of the rules that much. Like, I'm not really good with rules. Like, grammar, all that stuff, not my thing. But I just love storytelling, right? So they're just like, you're just really good at storytelling. So eventually I was like, I'm just going to go to film school. Screw it. I'm not going to go to med school. I'm going to go to film school.
Nice.
Luckily, my parents were all for it. And so I went to a film school here in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Throughout the 4 years, I was just like any other student. And then, but here's the thing. The school that I went to, unfortunately, it was very hierarchical. So I'll be honest with you. I'll be completely honest with you. I didn't really learn that much in the school.
Right.
I didn't have a lot of hands-on experience. So,
gotcha.
So imagine finishing your 4 years of college and you're like, crap, I don't really know anything. So shoot, man, I really wanted to write more and have it produced with my my fellow college students. But then it was the same people getting their stuff made. I was like, oh, come on. So I was gripping a lot. I was on sets a lot, but mostly as grip. And I was hanging out at the crafts tables a lot because I'm like, yo, you guys don't even want me here. Why am I even here? Use me for my stories, guys. And I mean, every now and then people would shoot stuff for me. Of course, it's college. They didn't really turn out well. So after college ended, I I needed some experience in the industry. And so at first I was like, you know what, let me go ahead and be an intern at a radio station. Did some time there. Even though it's not film related, it's still entertainment related. So I met a lot of artists, and there's a reason why I did it, and it's important later. But so I spent a few months interning at a radio station to help put on a a music festival in Virginia Beach. So that ended, and I'm like, okay, what do I do now? I was able to use that experience to lock in an internship in West Hollywood. This is 2012. This is after college. I didn't even need it anymore. I just wanted experience. And so the reason why it was a good thing that I connected with artists in the local area at the time is because I was able to put on music events to fundraise for my going out to LA. Yeah. So I utilized that background to get me to LA. So I'm in LA, spent my 2 months there. Didn't make the best coffee. I was scared. I was, the stereotype about like, don't make bad coffee in Hollywood because you may not get like a job after that. I was scared, dude. I'm like, yo, I can't make coffee for crap. Can I cuss on here? I'm a potty mouth, so I just want to make sure that I don't get you in trouble.
That's all you want. I'll bleep it.
Okay, cool. Just in case it slips out is what I'm saying.
I love it. I love the
dude. Yeah, dude. So like, oh man, I was scared. I'm like, yo, am I gonna like shoot myself in the foot by making terrible coffee? I stuck through it for 2 months. At the end of 2 months, come back home to Virginia Beach, and I'm like, okay, well, I have this momentum underneath me. So what can I do to really catapult me to the next level? So I hop on Twitter and Instagram, like really went in with social media, and people started taking note of me. They're like, hey, the way you talk to people on social media, you seem legit, you seem genuine. You seem like you actually care about artists, which I do. And so they're like, let's, can we have you work at our conference, our LA conference? And so for the next few years, I did events here and there for other people. It was my duty to gather executives to come attend. So, so my Rolodex of industry names started gathering, right? So I would have like email lists of people from these big companies and these smaller companies and these independent companies. It's just a long list of names of people to connect with. Over time, I'm like, you know what? I can just do this by myself. I don't need someone telling me what to do. So like, let me start my own industry. Let me start my own industry event series, right? So I utilized all the contacts I made over the years to do my own stuff. The reason why I did that stuff is because I thought to myself, there's millions of other writers out there who are trying to do the same thing. So how do I stick out? And for me, the way to stick out was start an event series so that instead of me trying to get under the same roof as big executives in Hollywood, one night they'd come out to be under one roof with me.
Yeah, man. Really smart move. Really smart. Dude. That's what drew me to you at first, man. I saw what you were doing like early on social media. And I was like, oh, okay, he's bringing everybody to him, which is really smart. And it's valuable to both parties, right? Because it's like, hey, look, we can give back to our community, make sure that all these people who are coming up are getting like the right information, not just like weird that you hear like here and there.
And here's the thing, dude. I never promise anyone, hey, come to my event and you'll get discovered. Like, we never do that. That's just, like, anyone who does that, they're scam artists.
Yeah.
We just give you the opportunity. We connect you to people, and whatever happens, that's on you, right? So I'll bring people to you, but you still gotta and I'll give you one example. One time, this is, I want to say 2 or 3 years ago, I held a music events where we guest speakers in different record labels and different music management companies. This girl, she comes to my event for the very first time. I don't know how she found it. I think she just found it on Eventbrite. She comes to my event for the first time. At the end of the event, she walks away with an interview, a job interview with Roc Nation.
Really?
This is her first time with me her first time with me ever, right? So she walks away with a job interview with Roc Nation. She calls me a month later saying, hey, I got the job. Damn. So, and now she's working with the same people she worked with her at Roc Nation, but at a different company. Like, they formed their own company. So she's like a full-time music manager now. Wow. So I'm not taking claim of it, but I'm like, I think she even told me like, hey, like, this is totally a testimonial. Like, you help me.
Do, right? It's like, hey, I'm gonna bring you here. You come over here. You make like happen, but like, hey, you set up the space, you know?
Exactly. So I'm so proud of that. And over the years, things happen. My own management company, the people I manage by, Emagine Content, they formed by meeting at my events. So
Wow.
several people who never met each other prior, they met at my events through the years, eventually made their own company, and now I'm managed by them. So it's like it came full circle for me.
Dude, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Nice. All right. Well, I mean, I think there's a lot of like little things that you said in there that are all comes down to like self-awareness, that you knew that you had to be making these next moves, right?
Yeah.
And on top of that, just understanding the landscape and like playing the game really to like,
Right.
and reverse engineering things even.
Well, absolutely, dude.
Hey, if I want to do this thing, then I have to get to this person. Even better, how can I get them to come to me?
Yeah.
And even if you're not, like you said, you know, there's tons of there's tons of awesome content out there, but really what's going to like make you stand out? And it's that relationship, right? You're always going to pick that person that you know over like a stranger. Even if the stories are both really good, it's like, you know what? I got to do this person a solid. I know them already. I trust them.
Absolutely. Absolutely, dude.